Hey guys, it's Twintuitive717. I am back with another video. I just wanted to thank everybody for all of your support on the channel. So for this reading today, I wanted to provide some messages from the Divine Masculines to the Divine Feminines. And if you'll notice, I have some cards here from the Power of Love deck. And they're actually activation cards. So the deck is by James Van Praagh, and so the reason that they're activation cards is because the messages are actually meant to sort of find themselves into your frequency and activate certain parts of your energetic fields that resonate with these messages as truth, because I've mentioned to many of you in personal readings and throughout the channel that it really is our birthright to be happy here on this planet, and so each and every choice that we're faced with is our path to that birthright. So for the first group here, I just thought that I would just go through them and kind of see what I felt guided to pull out. Okay. So for the first collective, it says friendliness. You are able to recognize traits in common with another in order to forge love-based connections. So for many of you, I feel that your masculines are in your physical space, and so you either have mutual friends, you work together, you've met each other through family, or close friends. You somehow come into each other's contact, and that's why I mentioned on the channel earlier on that twin flames come in all kinds of dynamics. It's like when your world you think is going perfect and they just show up, and it often can start off as a friendly attraction, and for many of you, I sense, if it hasn't happened already, in the future, you'll feel emotions of longing and missing them, and you'll ask yourself why you're so closely connected to someone who's just an acquaintance or to someone that you may have just met. And I feel that those are the things to really pay attention to if you're really trying to confirm your twin flame union, or you're trying to confirm who it is your person is. Pay attention to what it is that's happening in the dynamic and enjoy the experience also. With this friendliness card, I'm just getting the messages of, just blessings coming in and a lot of magic occurring around you too right now. And if you resonate with this card, I feel that you're very much in the beginning stages of your twin flame journey. So many of you have just met your twin flame, or you've had your first encounter where you kind of ask yourself, am I going crazy, or am I completely and utterly just mesmerized by this person? And you'll know that it's different with this connection because you've never quite felt this level of intensity towards another person before in such a quick matter of time. And some of you may have even told yourselves that your twin flame is not your type, or you might have just felt that they were a crush, but eventually, the friendship, again, it says here to forge love-based connections. So that friendship really snowballs really quick into a love connection between you two. So if any of you are experiencing this, please do enjoy the ride, because there's a lot to come, and I feel that your divine masculine wants you to know that. Feel relaxed about this, and don't try to overthink it too much or get into a state of fear or confusion. Really be in the flow of things and enjoy what's being presented to you, because sometimes a lot of doubt comes up when we're in a state of fear, right? And that's what the journey teaches us. When we meet another person that we're extremely attracted to and intensely connected to, there's a lot of fears around being with this person, and I think that comes from losing it. And that's why so many of us fear the separation, when really the separation is a time of strengthening the connection, because when you two are apart, there's no denser feeling than that longing that you feel to connect again in the physical. Because once twin flames meet each other here on Earth, they've made eye contact, they're aware of each other's presence. Even if they haven't made eye contact, they've connected somehow through messaging each other. It's all in the feeling, right? Especially for those twins who haven't met each other. Let's say you've met online and you've never actually physically met your twin flame, or you've never physically been intimate with your twin flame, even so much as shared a kiss with them. That speaks volumes about the truth that you seek about the connection, right? Sometimes you have to go against the crowd and pay attention to what it is you're feeling in this very moment that other people often cannot explain. And other people should not be able to explain it, because you're being guided to ask yourself the truth and validate your own truth before going outside and seeking that reassurance from anyone else. And many of you have tried to share your twin flame journey, or just given people little bits and pieces, and it's almost like the people around you haven't really caught up to this type of love just yet. It's almost like you can't explain it, because the person has to feel it and be in the situation to understand what it's like to feel a twin flame connection. And that's why so many of us feel isolated in our own lives and are going on this journey of eliminating people who don't belong and drawing in our soul family, even if we're exchanging friendships with each other through here on YouTube, the comment section, through emails. This is a great way of connecting with people who truly understand us, when sometimes it feels like people in our own circle don't. So just enjoy the connection, guys, and really pay attention to the beautiful lessons that it's giving you. Enjoy the friendliness and the flirting and the really getting to know each other phase of that coming together, because it's a beautiful feeling to, I guess, find your other half on the planet. It's it's unlike anything. That's why we can't explain it with words sometimes. I know many readers will understand and know what I mean when I say that. So for group 2, I get the discernment card here. So it says you are developing the skill to distinguish love from fear and truth from illusion. And it kind of I guess, continues on from this message what I was talking about with really discerning with family and friends. So whoever is in group 2, I feel like your masculines right now are letting you know that they're aware of their connection with you, and what it's making them do is that exact process of filtering out people who don't belong in their lives, and bringing in people that are more aligned with their truth. And a lot of their truth is what they're feeling with their divine feminines, because it's not, for them, it's not only about the love connection. It's really about the influence of the energy of the feminine that motivates them and helps them to just feel this fiery energy sometimes. And because the masculine has the outward energy, and they're more structured and builders, and then you have the feminine energy kind of fertilizing it all. So because they have to be in that state of mind of pushing forward, it's like you can tell that just the thought of the feminine makes them feel alive. So I feel like anyone that tries to take that away from them is really finding a lot of resistance from the masculine. Maybe he's even cutting people off, kind of like cold turkey, where it's like you just, okay, I don't want to ever talk to you again, and I don't really care to ever speak to you again kind of energy. Do you know what I mean? It's like where you don't feel like you owe people explanations anymore, or you're starting to feel like you don't have to explain yourself to people anymore. So, it's all a part of discerning and understanding our own journey, and that it belongs to us and not anybody else. And so a lot of the fears that he's been fed about the connection, so even if the feminine's married, or she has kids, or she's of a different race, it's a same-sex connection, they're having to really have their eyes open to how people in the world appear, and they're understanding from their perspective also that the love they feel for the feminine, and much like many twins who are in all different kinds of dynamics, twins are starting to shatter those obstacles that have been in our way for such a long time. And I feel as though we're all learning to be good people, period. And so we're not letting certain roles as a mother or a father or a wife strictly define who we are for the rest of our lives. We're learning to understand the importance of just being a good human being on this earth. So even if we do find ourselves in situations where we want to make a wholesome decision for ourselves, the process will go smoothly. There's no such thing now as bitter divorce in our vocabulary because, if we do have to part ways with our significant other, we're starting to find strength and courage from a place of peace. And it's because we're understanding that we don't want to put our kids through hell. We don't want to follow the norms either, right? We're all learning to really see on a deeper level that we are creating our own journey. And many of us are living our lives through the lenses of other people. We're so scared to make decisions for ourselves because we're afraid of what other people would think. And when you stop to really ask yourself what those people are really doing for you, you'd be surprised. I mean, you're seeking advice from other people, much like I saw the divine masculines in the past, and they would give him negative advice about his divine feminine, and then they were sleeping cozy in their beds at night while he was up feeling this confusion, right? He was fighting the opinions of other people versus what his heart was telling him. And that's what I want many of you to understand, know, and realize on the journey. Many of you who are living with guilt about the love that you feel. Love is a powerful emotion. And it's, with these activation cards also, it teaches us that these kinds of concepts come from a place of love. And it starts with self first. So we have to be able to love ourselves enough to know when we're unhappy and when and how to change that and then take the action. So everything around us is illusion, and the card does say that. It says you're developing the skill to distinguish love from fear and truth from illusion. So, many of the people around us are just there as tests, They're testing us every step of the way because this world that we see through our own eyes is our experience, and we have the ability to change it in the blink of an eye. So how we do that is, I feel like the divine masculines in this group are sharing with the feminines, what they've done and how it's helped them. But through my own eyes, I can actually see that any thought or opinion from anybody else that comes up in their eyes or their minds, they're asking themselves the question again, and from this time they're wanting to know how they feel about it. And let's be honest, when they're alone and they ask themselves how they truly feel about the connection with the feminine, everything points back to her. That's why many of you experience the in and out communication with your masculines. They can't deny the connection, and they can't deny the fact that it's unique in a way where they can't forget you. And this has been over a very long period of time for many of you. So the obstacles are starting to dissolve based on the fact that our divine masculines now in this group are discerning truth. So not a lot is getting in the way now of them coming forward and communicating truth to their feminines. So I'll move on to 3. I've got cooperation here. So with cooperation, it says, in your quest to manifest the energy of love, you realize that every person and experience has value. And for me, I strongly feel that this card comes up for, group 3 with any divine masculines who are in karmic situations, or even if they're with families. And I've shared this too in many personal readings, and I can understand from my own perspective in my own life is that the twin flame journey is not here to bring about negativity for us. It's here to provide life lessons. And so even if we are experiencing connections with families and children, the love that we feel for our twin flame outside of that dynamic is not wrong. And the goal is for each and every soul within that dynamic to cooperate in a way where they bring about peace and harmony. Because, all of our lives are intertwined in a way where we're teaching each other. And our twin flames are our biggest teachers. That's why they come into our lives, and they really make us reflect in every single area. And one of those areas that affect us the most is our ability to choose ourselves. And when we choose ourselves, we know that we don't want conflict in our life. We know we don't want negativity, drama, toxicity. We want cooperation. We want peace. So by simply stating that and commanding that and wanting that, that gives us the freedom to make those decisions. It gives us the courage to approach our karmic partners and our families with peace and understanding. And we give our twin flames the courage to do the same with theirs. And so in this dynamic, you can really see how it is about the journey and how it is about meeting and evolving each other's lives in a way that just simply won't be found outside of the connection. That's why many of us feel like the twin flame journey is so hard, because you're battling your heart versus society. And so, yeah, that's a hard fight for sure. But many of us who resonate with the twin flame journey, we were brought here for this battle, for this fight. Because we can't deny our hearts in this situation. Many of us know that. But, the cooperation with many of us and the connection with each other, and that includes our families, our friends, the most important people in our lives who our twin flame journey is affecting, the goal is cooperation and peace among all of you. It's not negativity, it's not drama, it's nothing to do with betrayal. It's all about pushing your love to a level that is more expansive. And that's the goal. All of us want that soul growth. So I will wrap it up here. I didn't mean to go on for this long, but I hope many of you find this message well and that you enjoyed the cards. I absolutely love them. Again, that was the Power of Love deck. So I will speak to you guys again soon in the next video. Take care.